Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here again once more at ICP, seeing what's going on, and just kind of touch on these fib levels here that we discussed yesterday or last night, and the fact that we haven't come close. That's a very, very good sign. In fact, we're building a stronger volume profile here at this higher price point than we did before, and that is a pretty big testament here to how strong the price is going to be in the near future. Okay, so again, likely continuation for this here. It's kind of crazy that we were, kind of talking just a couple of days ago about this bull flag pennant pattern, and the price just shot up like out of nowhere. Really awesome. Again, congrats to our community members here for just some awesome trades. We can kind of see SHIB 62%, AVAX 53% in 1.5 days, and there you go, ICP 1.5, 96%. In hindsight, we should have put more profit targets in place, or just larger ones, of course, but you never truly know, right? The key is to take profit, make sure you're always sustaining your portfolio. So let's talk about the daily time frame, work our way down here, and just note that we are seeing a third green day here. And again, you're like, wait, there's 6 green days. What are you talking about? There's 3 very strong green days. They may not look like that, but this first one was about 25%. Second one was roughly 70-80%, and this last one, of course, another chunked up for 16%. So anytime you have 3 larger candlesticks in a row, they're typically more than 10% with 3 days in a row. You can expect the 4th day to possibly be red. In other words, tomorrow, depending on where we close our candlestick here today, could very well see some kind of pullback. Just preparing you there. It's not a guarantee at all, but if you're curious, look up 3 white soldiers. It has a tendency of giving you a 4th red day and then likely continuing. Okay, so in hindsight, we could argue that this is the 4th red day, but it just depends on how you look at it. Anyways, that's a conversation for another day. We'll just keep an eye on that. That's something I more so like to think out loud. When we take a look at the moving averages, daily time frame is extremely bullish. There's really no slowing down here. Obviously, there's not much to extract. We want to look at the 4-hour time frame and see if there's any shift in momentum from yesterday. We do have stochastic RSI swinging down, which is actually phenomenal. In other words, when this is swinging down, the price action is supposed to be pulling back. Instead, the price is going up. We're working ourselves into an ascending channel, and this is a very positive sign too. Most of the time, when you see this kind of ascending channel, it will continue higher. We saw that with Bitcoin a couple weeks ago when it broke that 40,000 mark, right? So again, strong potential reality for the price action to continue higher, just because of how it's consolidating. Now, if we take a look at TD sequential, this will argue that we are extremely overextended. Okay, and that's normal. That's extremely normal in these circumstances. So I'm not trying to overamp this, but in general, it does look like it wants to continue higher. We do have a slight possibility of pullback again, being 72 hours of continuation without massive correction. I guess you could argue that we did massively correct here on this candle, but it still continues higher. So again, overextension is not one thing, but if you see a few other factors involved, that could be another. But at this point, based on what I see here, there's no reason to consider shorting this coin. You do want to, of course, continue to adjust your stop loss higher, so you take profit if the price does pull back. But the cool thing is the price doesn't seem to want to pull back very much. We had this slightly aggressive pullback there from the 0 to the 0.236 fib level, and we can summarize at $10.25 based on volume, at least in the most recent 24-hour period, is a pretty solid amount of support. Okay, so we got some support right there at about 10.25. Price breaks below 10.25, we can have a different conversation, but for right now, all moving averages are pointing up, and there's no reason to, again, either short into this or consider the price is going to pull back. Again, it seems crazy, but these things continue to happen consistently in a lot of coins. And now we're hitting this volume scenario where the price action's continuing higher in volume because a lot of people are trying to jump in and get into this coin now. Okay, so we got that secondary wave of FOMO, if you will. Last thing we want to look at here is the hourly. And just to quickly note, this does also reiterate that we're still in good shape. You do got to recognize lagging span is almost intersecting with the price action. So conservatively, keep in mind this is a conservative indicator. If you're curious about this indicator, be sure to search it on my YouTube channel. I do have a walkthrough on how to use it and understand it correctly. But this really just tells us the window of opportunity is closing and that you might want to consider trimming some profits. Okay, and then here, lagging span and the conversion line of the baseline. The conversion line is above the baseline. That basically implies we still have good momentum. Okay, so again, another reason not to consider shorting. And of course, the cloud itself, somewhat of a support range, is telling us, big surprise right here between 0.382, 0.236, we're seeing between 9.5 and roughly 10.25. a nice amount of support here in this range. So the price does cross into this level. You want to make sure you do not consider taking a long or short position. If the price stays above, that might be a consideration for a long there. If we can consolidate for another, 12 to 24 hours at this point. Okay. So to me, I'm looking for the price action being roughly where it's at right now in another couple of hours, or sorry, another 4 or 5 candles, if you will, and then I might consider a long. Okay. Again, I don't want to be premature, but then again, I also don't like trading into a lagging span, intersecting with price action. Again, if we wait 24 to 48 hours, this will naturally be above the cloud if the price action just moves up a little bit. Okay. Again, a lot of little things that I like to look for, but to me, this is not a full-on confirmation for a long position. This is a confirmation to adjust my stop loss and to ensure that I take profit and secure that profit just in case the price pulls back. And again, if the worst case scenario does occur, we can summarize that the price action, again, this is likely a candidate here, where we can see 0.382, 0.5, or 0.618 as those levels that we might see. So just be mindful, those are some good dollar cost average targets and or destination targets if you consider to short, but I highly recommend not shorting. Okay, just some friendly advice. You're much better taking a long at these lower levels if we hit them than you are taking a short. The emphasis there is if. We do not know the price is going to pull back. Okay, again, just because lagging spans are intersecting with the price action does not imply that the price is going to drop. It just tells us that we're getting closer to the end of this initial uptrend, which is pretty obvious. We've been uptrending for hundreds of hours now, and it needs to calm down and relax, which it's kind of doing, but it's still ascending, right? So again, ascending channel, breakout, there's still more of a probability the price, I feel, will continue higher. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Comment below, love to hear it. Let us know too how you're feeling. Obviously in our Discord, Twitter, Telegram, we got a really cool group of folks over here, a lot of new traders, and we just have a good time and all learn and grow together. So if you need something like that, sometimes the community helps keep us in check. It helps a lot to have that. Again, reference the link below for cryptocash.tech if you're curious about becoming a premium member there with my signals. Then obviously jump on over to the best exchange, in my personal opinion, in the world. Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, significant rewards if you use my link to register. But more important, they have some really cool features like a trailing stop loss, adjustable profit targets, and these are all things you can find here in my Bitunix section on our Discord channel with some walkthroughs there for you. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Sam, so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.